are resilient. When I say we, I have my good friend and fellow co-host on this journey, U.S. Army veteran Michael Geary, who of Hellfish Haven, who is with me, and we are working on building this community of resilient veterans and people who support them. Michael, what we got on for tonight?
Tonight's topic's going to be hope. Uh, whether it's hope in the face of darkness, whether it's hoping, that something, better will come, or, just hoping through getting through the day. And we're going to talk about hope today. So, ready for, anybody that's out there to come on if they'd like? Hello, Elsa.
All right, I'm clicking this link. There it is. Elsa, how are you doing? Elsa's a longtime Oscar Mike radio supporter, Michael, so it's good to see her. We're doing this thing. Let me make sure. And yeah, we're here. Um, thinking about hope, it seems so elusive to a lot of us. And I don't know why that is. Why do you think hope escapes people sometimes?
Definitely you tend to get, a wall that you build up. You see, you're sitting there and like, it's almost like you get tunnel vision where you're stuck looking and seeing only one side of things. You're seeing the bad, you're seeing the hurt, you're seeing the hate, and like that builds up, and that's easier to build up than it is goodness, than the kindness and the love. And so those things are easier to manipulate your day to day versus the having the hope and the you know looking forward to the future.
Man, I tell you, everybody talks about motivation and discipline and, belief, and those are all good things, right? But I really feel for a lot of us, military or civilian, veteran or not, a lot of what fuels us really is hope. You're in the valley, you're unsure of what's going on. You might be going through some challenges in life or with relationships, and it's that hope for something better that allows you to keep doing the discipline, believing in yourself, and being motivated to keep at it. And I don't think that's talked about enough, which is why I think it's really powerful. We're doing it right now.
I do think too that like a lot of people, they do join the service because of that hope, and because of that, hope for a brighter future, and a lot of military families continue, generation after generation, because of that.
I'm just going to do the chat here, please.
Mhm.
Like this stream and share. So again, ladies and gentlemen, what we're trying to do here is, Michael started Hellfish Haven as a way to, meet veterans face to face, personal. You connect with them, you know, where a lot of us, want to be. I like, and I did in the Marine Corps, Michael. I play a lot of GoldenEye and Mario Kart. We get epic Madden battles, and you have that there. But also, it's this way of being able to see you right there. Like I'm not going to have to come down and see you, see a coordinator, see another coordinator before I finally get something. I mean, you're as close as a phone call away or a game invite. And then, I do Oscar Mike Radio. I've been doing it for a while, and it's really good. And we have a Robert. Uh,
Capiptico.
yeah, yeah. He's like, hey,
He's also known as KO.
KO. Well, KO
Yeah.
is on. He says, "Good job, Mike. Looking good." I'm gonna say
Thanks,
thanks,
KO.
Robert. Thanks, KO. He's coming in from LinkedIn. This is awesome. This is awesome. So, we met last year, and we started talking back and forth. And I really realized that we share a lot of the same things with our desire to help veterans in our community. And then, Christmas time came up, and it's like, hey, could we do this thing? And I'm going to talk about hope here for a second, Michael. I'm like,
Hmm.
why couldn't we do this? And the hope I have is because we are resilient, we're at war here, is that this is just a cool place to come halfway through the work week and just either hang out, get a boost. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, but you don't have to drink to be here. That's the best part about it. and connect with people who are much like you. And that's kind of my hope for this whole thing. And what I'm looking to have happen tonight. What about you, Michael?
But my big thing is just letting you guys know that even when times can get the hardest, like there's always someone that's going to be a phone call away, and it's so important to to plan prior to that hard time. You want to be out there, and you want to make sure you have a contingency plan when something does happen, or if something does happen. So you just it's really important that guys go out there and if they are having troubles with mental health, that they do have a safety plan, and they do have points of contact, whether it's family, friends, professional medical advice from their psychologist, psychiatrist, whoever they speak with. And then you know last but not least is also 988. And if somebody's got to call 988, press 1 for the veterans crisis line. And it's real simple. Like, you call, press 1. Later you're connected with someone. If you check on my Facebook page on Hellfish Haven, you'll see there's a little, like, you can text 988, you can call 988, or you can even chat with them right on their website.
You know what I've done? I've downloaded the VA's app. Let me see if yeah, you see. Oh, I had the VA mobile app,
Yep.
which is really, really cool. And they have this thing where the red bar is, if you're in distress, you can hit that red bar right there and it'll take you right to the Veterans Crisis Line. So, but to go back a little bit about something, are you almost saying that we should have like a frost call list for us, fast response on short transmission? My car broke down. Do I go to AutoZone first, or do I call my military friend who works on cars and maybe have him look at it and throw him the business? Do I go to the fast food joint first for catering, or do I go to my friend who does catering? Is that kind of what you're talking about, building that good list of people who are doing their thing but can help us out?
Absolutely. And like, especially with like men, like, they don't have as many friends as they continue to get older. And like, the average is like, the last study I saw was like, men have an average of 3 friends, like 3 friends that they can call and talk to, and let them know what's going on in their day to day. And so it's like building up that network and having more options of places to go and to call, and to be able to say, hey, I'm having a tough time, can you help me out? We've had people call the Haven and say, I'm going through something right now, can you just talk to me for a little while?
All
And
right, so break that down for us. Break that down for us. Someone calls the Haven, and
mhm.
and I love the Hellfish Haven. I do. I'm really like all about it. But somebody calls the Haven. How do you start helping them when you pick up the phone?
Yeah, it's just quick hello. If I already know the caller, and prior, sometimes they'll text first and say, hey, is it okay for me to call? Or they'll send a Facebook message, can I call you? And I'll drop my cell phone number is the same number for the Haven. It's just one line right now. And I'll just have people, we'll call them, I'll talk to them right away. And I've talked with guys, whether it's 10 minutes or 10 hours, whatever is necessary for them to get through what's going on in their lives at that point. It's been people in Massachusetts, it's been people in California, it's been people, from side to side. When somebody's in trouble, I want to know that we're available for them.
What happens when down the road one of those guys or one of those women, I don't know, you might talk to both of them, comes back and says, "Hey man, thanks a lot. That really helped me out, and I'm glad you were there." What's that do to you, Michael?
It makes me feel like I've been able to give back, because I had that personally happen to me. Like, during the COVID shutdown, like, I was at the point where I literally had the razor out, and I was just thinking that maybe my buddies that had done this before and taken their lives were in the right. And I made the call to a friend and talked to him until I was able to get onto somebody else in the morning. Talked to my PTSD doc the next day, and got myself back in the right situation. But I did. I had that scare where, like, I didn't know what I wanted to do. And so, being able to call someone and have that, that reply out there, and then have that hope was, so very important to me. So that's why I want to make sure that we are available for them if they ever need that as well.
So hope is really a big thing with you. I mean, it's not just a buzz phrase or a catchword. You really need people to understand that this is coming from that place of authenticity because you
Absolutely.
lived it. You lived it. And for me, there's been times in my life where it's been really freaking dark, man. Not been a good place. I don't think I've been, suicidal in the strictest sense of the world, but I've definitely been like, I've lost all faith in humanity, and there's just no way to get around this. And somebody reached out, or somebody said, hey, I'm having, you know, hot dog. I don't eat hot dogs, but I'm having, uh, chicken wings. Come over and have some wings and watch the game. And that was a really great thing for me. And it said, you know what, I'm not forgotten. Like, somebody cares enough to reach out to me, and it gave me enough energy to get through the day. So I think it's just important to talk about.
It does. It's definitely so important too to have that, that face to face with people too. It's good to have, the virtual connection. It's good to have, these, things with people, but it's also good to have a face to face with someone every now and again, just to, be able to check in and really get to, because, someone can fake the funk on a phone call, someone can fake the funk on a FaceTime, for a little bit. But when you're sitting with somebody, you can really, see, their emotion, their distress, and like know what's going on.
So I'm a veteran, and I'm having some hope issues. I make the call, and I start talking to either a friend, maybe a coworker, maybe a minister, or maybe just a person I serve with. I guess where I'm thinking of is what do you do when the phone goes off and you've got to face reality again? How do we keep how do we keep hope going? Is it like a gas tank where you got to fill it up every now and then, or is it just something that once you know what it is, you can kind of just deal with it on your own?
I think it's a lot like, you got to keep replenishing it. You got to, look at what you've got. You have a almost like a 24, 48, 7 day plan. Like, what's something that you can do tomorrow that's gonna, keep you motivated and keep you going? What's something that you can do 2 days from now that's gonna keep you going? You know, uh, that'd be awesome, KO.
Over here on the West Coast, I'm thinking of starting a group called the Better Me. Oh man, this is cool. This is cool.
And like, it's so important to like have a plan, to know like what you're gonna be doing in the next few days. Like for me, like having Jose and like having her to take care of and to before I was with the wife and kid. Like I didn't have anybody. I had then you got the service dog, and having him to take care of and be around all the time was my hope. Like he got me through my times, and that was through Operation Delta Dog out of Hollis, New Hampshire. And we'll be working with them more in the future. Trying to get more access to veterans in the greater Boston area that can't make that trip up to Hollis, New Hampshire. Hopefully in this new year we're working on a plan to get that unleashed, pun
Man, that's
intended.
a second. For me, just to get serious, I mean, not that we're not serious, but just to go back to a serious thing, right? Last Friday night, a veteran committed suicide at the Jamaica Plain campus. And a lot of people reached out to me. A lot of people asked me, well, how can this happen? A lot of people said, the VA did this and didn't do that, and the cops did this and the cops did that. And, um, you know, here's how I look at it is I don't know why he chose Jamaica Plain to go to, but he did. I can't I can't believe that the VA would just turn him away or not offer any kind of help. Something else drove him to be in that location and do this before he took his life. And I just think it goes back to where what you said is people get alone, people lose hope, they lose connection with other people, they have limited friends, and it just seems easier to, make the permanent choice than to get help. what can we in our community be doing to be more proactive?
I think the biggest thing is, is checking on these guys. Is maintaining better contact, because it is so hard when you do leave the service to go from that 24/7 having someone there, even if you can't stand your roommate, you can't stand the person who's on the team with you, or but you still have that person there all the time. And, you still have a person there to talk to.
Sorry, Mike. I just figured out how to turn the chat on so people could see the chat in the stream,
Oh, perfect.
and this is pretty cool. So, um, I'm learning all kinds of stuff doing this. Sorry, I'm really
So we've got KO's thing on LinkedIn there, sharing what he's going on. Starting a group called The Better Me, looking to take care of veterans who are in need with help life issues such as house, car, overall minor contract work. That'd be great. Definitely, KO, touch base with the mission continues out there. They are huge in California. I'll find their website for you.
oh no.
It's missioncontinues.org. They're a service organization that's out there that does community service, that continues to build a community. Oh, Western Mass, fair enough. He's talking about Holyoke, Springfield. When I was with KO in the Guard, we were out of W.A.R.
Oh, really? So you serve with
Yeah.
with KO?
Yeah, we were in Amber Province. We were both in 1st Platoon. And then he was, I want to say, 2 or 3 chews behind me when we moved to Ambar, when we went to Al Assad Air Base. So he is a well-known friend. Pretty good out there.
I'm thinking about hope. I'm having this whole hope thing. It's for some weird reason, um, the Bible verse about faith, hope, and love came back. I think it's Corinthians. We got a Bill checking
Bill
in
Dufall,
saying Bill Dufall. All right,
aka Billy D. He would be a
Billy
good
D.
one to call on here if he's got time.
All right. Hey, Bill. Click this link if you want to come. We're all live here. This is studio taped or edited. This is all live. Uh, so I love it.
You can see every time the dog pops up or knocks over my table.
Dog is lit, man. I mean, what's the dog's name?
Jose.
Jose, yeah.
Jose, you want to make your debut?
I love it. I love it. Now I just gotta ask, real quick, do you have a fish tank by any chance?
I do not.
Okay, well, I thought the Hellfish. I know why you're called Hellfish Haven. I just always wondered if you had like a fish tank with like the Hellfish, in it. That'd be pretty cool.
That would be awesome.
So again, I'm with Michael Geary, Army veteran, founder and director of Hellfish Haven, which is a veterans outreach program in the Boston and Greater Mass area. I'm Travis Partington, Marine Corps veteran with Oscar Mike Radio, and yeah, the National Guard, Army, and Marine Corps can work together. And we're doing this whole series called War, or We Are Resilient. And yeah, we know we have problems as veterans. We know that life can be tough, but we're trying to showcase things that show our resilience, show your resilience, and give people a place on Hump Day to talk. And you know, it we had a great week last week, and we're having a good time now. And Robert writes, wow.
So a little insight on suicide as a survivor. The tip that worked for me was the first thing you do is take them out of the environment. Also, someone gave me 20 and went to the Salvation Army and told me to give it to someone. It definitely is getting out of that headspace, the environment that you're in, where you can continue to spiral down. It's definitely good advice, Robert. Thanks, Kale. Appreciate that. And thank you for sharing that.
Do you get hope, or does hope really come alive when you start giving of yourself to somebody else? Even if you're going through a hard time, if you can find some way to give to somebody else who's either in the same kind of situation or maybe needs a hand up, does that give you hope in humanity and in what you're trying to do?
Kale said, still showed it's still worth, even if it's just $20. I made somebody's day and it snowballed into a healthy life. That's great, Ko. Definitely, being able to have that,
Well,
have
maybe he
that.
just answered for me. Maybe he did. Okay, so if it is $20 or a Dunkin' Donuts gift card or a gas card to Cumbies, you know, making someone's day, will reap benefits down the road. I think it's pretty powerful.
And that's one of the things that we put in um, the ammo can hope box that we've got going on right now at Hellfish Haven is a $20 gift card to Dunkin' Donuts to get that person out of their environment and to say, hey, even if you go down and get a cup of coffee and go talk to the person behind the counter or somebody at the dunks, you're getting out of your own head for a moment and being around someone else and seeing what else is out there.
There's so much out there. There's so much out there, and when you're in a distressful situation and you're thinking, you know what, there's just no way out. There's no way up. Can't stress this enough that you're not alone. There's either somebody who's going through the same thing right now and just wants that, and I got to use this army term, battle buddy, to go through that with you, or there's somebody who's been through you know the suck, as we say in the Corps, and will give you a hand up. And we got to get over our pride too, Mike. A lot of us veterans get real proud. We get real full of ourselves. Our ego gets going. We can't let our egos get bruised. But in some ways, we got to let go of our pride and say, hey, in order to get hope back, in order to brace hope, we gotta stick the hand up and ask for help.
Definitely, it's definitely so important to be able to have that and to drop that pride, just for a moment, and know that it doesn't make you any less who you are to ask for help. It's nobody's gonna look at you any different and say, that man is weak or that person, is not who I thought they were because they asked for help. If any, man, woman, or person, asks me for help, we definitely just want to have that out there and know that they're always welcome to be a part of it.
Well, hey, Bill, I know you try to get in. I got a Craig Chapman here.
Yes, heck yes.
Hey, KO. So, first of all, hey, Jim Boy. Jim Boy is out in the Philippines. He's in the Philippine Army. He's watching right now. We're international, Mikey.
Excellent. And
Uh,
Craig, he works down in Southern Mass and Rhode Island with New England veterans.
yeah. So, he says we do at New Englanders helping our veterans. I'm the vice president, and we are doing awesome stuff for veterans. He also says, I think Haven and the other groups are ambassadors for veterans to get help. It's out there, and there's plenty of it. And it's veterans helping veterans, not someone who doesn't know what we've been through. Couldn't agree more. And then I got Buzz Bryan from Florida checking in. I mean, again, this is just this is cool, man. KO says to me, suicide wasn't a thought process; it was a mindset that processed. Mike, what do you think he's saying there?
I don't know, Kale, do you want to jump on and say what you mean by that?
All right, we'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat again. If somebody wants to come on and just share with us and tell their story, we're open to it. It's right there. Just click on the studio restream.io and come in.
Yeah, definitely. I can see how it starts as something that is in your head, and then from there it's coming out and taking over your thought process. Perhaps what it's
bit by bit, right? It's not an all of a sudden thing. It's just bit by bit. It starts building up.
And it's like, or an overall body feel, like, like you almost like you can't get it. Like for me, like when depression hits, it's I struggle to get out of bed. I don't want to get up and hit the shower and shave. I don't want to drag my ass out the door. It's those are the things that I struggle with when I have my days of depression. And I know that for me is my personal struggle that I have from time to time. And like I think that's what KO may be talking about when he's talking about the mindset, is the whole body feel versus just the thought coming over him.
So I got Jill from Georgia checking in, Mike, and a couple other people. This is really, really cool. And again, for those of you coming into the stream, I'm with Michael Geary, the founder and director of Hellfish Haven, a veteran service organization in the greater Boston area. And I'm Travis Partington, Marine Corps veteran of Oscar Mike Radio. And we are WAR. We are resilient. We're not going anywhere. We know life is tough. We know we can be in the suck, in the valley of the shadow of death, but we're going to let it get us down. And it's by building this space where people can come together and share these experiences that are really powerful, man. I'm seeing this chat, and I'm learning so much about how other people think and what they've done to get ahead. I think the most powerful one, Mike, is this aspect of giving. When you see somebody else in trouble and you get to help them out, it gives them hope that somebody helped them, and it gives you hope that you made a difference.
And there are so many different ways to go out there, and there are so many great organizations across Mass and across the U.S. that are doing these things. Like even like down in Southeast Mass, you've got 22 Mohawks. They're working, getting people service dogs. They're jumping on airplanes together. They're doing all sorts of things, and come February, they're doing the Boston Bruins Be Fit Challenge. 22 Mohawks with Hidden Battles Foundation. The two of them are going to be working together on that. And it's just great to see this and to see the impact that it's actually having on people's lives. Like to see them go from not having anything to having these organizations out there. I think, like we talked about last week, with the Legions and VFWs have become a lot of just a drinking club versus an action organization. They do a lot for us down in DC, but the local posts they got too caught up in the canteen and not enough in the veteran service. And that's where a lot of these nonprofits have really stepped up and done a lot for the community, whether it be the veteran, the family, or the caregivers.
Yeah, I just want to add to that. I mean, I really appreciate those who are in the American Legion, AMVETS, and VFW. Absolutely. I mean, we need them. That they have a purpose and role, and they do it very well. But I can't say enough about nonprofit veterans organizations who get out there in the community and try to make a difference. And here's the thing, I just want to say, Michael, if you're a civilian watching this and you're wondering if you'll be accepted if you offer to help out at a veterans service org, you're going to find out that we'll welcome, what you bring to the table. We need your expertise and your ability to think through problems and look at things through different lens. So I'm never going to be like, well, you're not a veteran, you didn't serve, you can't come help me out. I want to find a way, we can include you in doing this, because and Michael, a lot of people who are civilians want to help out and they're not sure going to be accepted, but they had fathers serve, brothers serve, daughters serve, even moms serve, right? And they want to, maybe they didn't serve, but they want to keep that legacy alive. So I think it was important that we welcome them as well, and support these nonprofits.
Definitely, especially to the caregivers too. Like that is definitely a great thing too to have. Like these people that are taking care of these disabled veterans that aren't able to get out of their houses, that are housebound and things like that. The caregivers, they need a spot too. They got to be able to unwind, and that's why we offer the services at the Haven to the families, to the veterans. The best thing I've seen at the Haven is a father and a son come in and play video games together while the dad's learning about different programs that are available, and the son's just having a great time, playing games at the Haven. So it's been really interesting to see. KO replied back, "It was a numbing thing. It wasn't me trying to kill the pain. It was something that I decided I was going to do, and it wasn't if, it was when. I lived my life at that time with a mindset of is best time and why." Thank you, KO, for explaining that.
So it's I don't want to put words in KO's mouth, but it sounds like, this wasn't like he just woke up one day and decided to do this. This took a while to get to this point, and it was always around him until, that point comes. Do you think that that's how it is for most of our brethren when they decide to do this? That it's just been weighing on them, and they don't. It's not that they've had a bad day or two. Like, they just see there's no way out. There's no way to get help. No one cares about them, so it takes a while is what I'm trying to say to get to that point.
It does, but you can even, a lot of the things, say out there, don't talk about suicide because, it's going to cause, but it's wrong. If you talking about suicide is okay, you can share what you're feeling and let people know, and it's not going to mean that you're going to do it. People will talk about it prior to their actions, and that's why it's so important to have people have these plans and these safety plans and things set up so that they do have a means to get out of that environment, like KO mentioned previously.
Well, let me ask you this. Let's just say, somebody in the audience or even one of us. I mean, you've done this a lot more than I have. I've gotten some phone
Mhm.
calls, that you talk with somebody, right? But somebody gets a call from a friend or a fellow veteran or even an active duty person, a son or daughter is calling home to mom and dad and says, you know what, I'm in this real dark place. What should we do to get them help like right then? Because a lot of us don't have training for this. And a lot of us, unless we're really purposeful, aren't thinking, hey, I should have these steps in place in case one, I need help, or two, if I'm asked for help. What are some things we can do to be prepared to give help if someone does reach out?
I mean, like I said, the first thing is that safety plan. That safety plan is so very important, and like that's why the ammo cannons for hope, and even like the virtual hope box that the VA had done a couple years back. I don't think they have it anymore, but you know, it's these things that you can open up and you can physically look at and you can see, okay, I'm having a tough time. I need to go outside and go for a walk. I need to listen to music that will, cheer me up. I'll watch a favorite movie. If those things don't help, who are three people I can talk to that can distract me? I'll call my friend John down the street. I'll call my buddy Ed down Norton. I'll call, just all these different people that you put down on the list, and then you'll put three people that you can talk to about your situation. Close family and friends that know what's going on and know how to share with you how to get through your troubles. And then after that, you've got the contingency of going to, all right, I've got my psychologist, I've got psychiatrist, I've got the VA, and then at the end you've got the crisis line. And it's working your way through it and knowing those steps. And so if you know you talk to folks and you say, you know you're going through a tough time, you definitely want to keep them on as long as you can until they're in a better place or they're with someone physically.
Hmm. I'm just I'm getting some comments saying that people can't get in through the link. I just want to test it out real quick, Mike. I'm not
Okay.
sure what's going on. So it says accessing your camera, and then on my phone it says studio.restream.io wants to use your device as camera. I click allow. Then it says it wants to do it again. I click allow again. It says microphone permission denied.
Hmm.
I'll play around with that, but yeah, if you don't allow your microphone and camera to be used by your phone, it's not going to work. So I'm not sure what that is. We'll test it out again this week and get this right. This is time number 2, so just bear with us um, and keep the chat going. We're getting the good stuff. KO writes back saying, remove them from the source, alcohol, drugs, and loneliness. Listen without the intent of understanding them. Lastly, show them that they can be what they can be worth. In other words, $20 at a store. It's pretty powerful. It's pretty powerful. Um, when you're lonely, though, Mike, I know that I even now I'm like, there's some days I just want to be by myself, whether it's in my house doing nothing or reading or playing Xbox or on the motorcycle. I don't want to be around people.
And then
But
that's fine too, but you're still almost connecting with something. You're still connecting with something that you enjoy, whether it's the motorcycle, whether it's the gaming. You're still doing something that brings you pleasure, that brings you hope, that gives you that hope to continue. Like, you may be by yourself, but you've still got that resilient nature to continue to, working on something that builds up that sense of purpose with yourself. And so that's absolutely, a fine attitude to have.
so when does loneliness become bad?
When you're derelict in your responsibilities, I think for me, that's what I would see is, when you're not, you know paying attention to, personal hygiene, when you're not paying attention to, you know you're driving in traffic, you're running, you know crazy on the street, you're driving like a madman, you're drinking to excess, things like that can be agitators.
When we constantly apologize for little things as well. So um, I got James Sullivan on LinkedIn saying, "Get out of the house and stay out of your head." So that's the thing, right? I mean, a lot of times, even today, right? My mind will start playing stuff at 1 o'clock in the morning or 2 o'clock in the morning, and then it just never stops. And sometimes I got to unplug for a while. That still happens to me sometimes, but how do you stay out of your head when you've got all this stuff bombarding you every day? I mean, for me, it is. It might be the gym because the gym forces me to focus on what's in front of me. It might be, crochet. I do the crocheting. I've done it because of Oscar Mike Radio. It's a really good thing. Mike, what are some ideas you have for kind of just getting away from your head and being in the moment, in the present?
Well, that's what we use at the Haven. We've got the video game system set up. We've got the board games. We've got the card games. Just it's almost like something that you don't really have to think about a lot to do, and you can focus on something else instead of being sitting in a situation where you're stuck in that head, and like you can jump online and you can play online. You can jump on a Discord server and chat with the folks at frostcall.org. They're Massachusetts run. They've got a great Discord community. Veterans Gaming and Mental Health have a great Discord community that you just jump on and you're able to reach out to somebody and talk with somebody else. That's you don't even have to like go on a live camera. You can just sit there and chat.
Well, that's the thing, if I may, about video games that I like for a lot of us, right? Um, oh, thanks, Robert.
Thanks,
Hope to
Gail.
see you. Yeah,
Great
okay.
having you.
Thanks a lot. That's the one thing about video games. I think video games get a bad rep. That's one of the things about video games I absolutely agree with. Like you're on playing Madden or COD or Gears of War or Mario Kart, and you're not really there, but you're there. You got your buddy in your ear, your buddies, and you're just talking with people. And to me, it's a really like easy way to sit down and socialize without any stress. Of what do I say or how do I say it because you're in the game. It's about the game, and you kind of got to work together sometimes to get through an objective. If you're doing like player versus environment, or even a team versus team thing. I think we should look at that more often. I know you try to do a lot of that with Hellfish Haven.
It is, and I do think it is a good exercise of of being out there and being connected, even if you're not connected. And that's what we thought with the Haven was, if we're not going to be able to reach the veterans to come to us, we want to be able to have the veterans, be able to be reached in another way. And it's been really good to see going online and having that presence and having the communication with people through social media, through gaming, and having it come back and shared.
So when it looks bleak, when it looks bad, you just got to take action. Bill writes, in my opinion, the biggest single thing one can simply do is picking up the phone and reaching out and physically talking to those you serve with and you've lost touch. Hey, I gotta tell you what, when my sergeant in the Marine Corps, Phil, Sergeant Newman, will call me every now and then, maybe a couple times a year. But man, it is really huge to get a call from somebody you serve with. Absolutely. And I know, Michael, you get out of the military, and sometimes it's the last group of people you want to talk to. You've had to live with them, eat with them, sleep with them, shower with them, watch them pop their zits, the whole 9 yards, right? You don't want to be around them any more than you have to. But it's really, I don't know about you, man, but it's really great when, one of my former battery mates, texts me, picks up the phone, or messages me through, social media. It really is.
Like Bill, for example, he was my squad leader on the first tour when I went to Iraq in 04, 05. And then a few years later, he gave me a call up and said that, he needed a squad leader. He was a platoon sergeant at that point, and that he's going back to Iraq. I had just gotten back from my second tour, and I was in training to be eligible for the promotion. I was at the NCO Academy, and he reached out to me, and because of that relationship that we had built on the first tour, we went again, on my third tour, his second, and we were able to go, again with each other. And it's definitely been good to keep that contact with somebody like Bill, where he does, whether he's driving back from the Cape from his weekend training, or what he's doing, he'll drop a call, check in, and see what guys are doing.
Yeah, Craig. Hey, man, I don't know what's going on tonight.
Sorry, Chappie.
My phone is, if you're doing it from your phone, it's you got to allow the microphone and camera access. From a computer, it seems to work fine. So I don't know. We'll play around with that during the week. Uh, we might try Zoom next week. We'll see. We're still ironing this out. But thanks for trying. I just wish Mikey showered more after missions in the sandbox. Oh man,
Once a month is enough,
what once a month is not enough. You kidding me? Stuff starts to grow off your body after a month. Are you kidding me? Oh,
When you would get off mission and you'd have that nice little salt line across your uniform,
right.
you take the vest off, and it's just
So yeah, Craig's saying, yeah, no worries. I've tried them from both and no go. I there's no block on my side, um, because you were able to come right in, Mike.
yeah. I clicked the link you sent me in the Facebook message and came on.
All right. We'll see what's going on there. I don't know. We'll work on this next week. But you know, there's a lot of definitions for hope. There's a lot of people have different opinions about what hope is. But to me, how I look at hope is I am looking for something good to happen out of a situation. It's just me trying to be as positive as I can when life is beating me to a pulp, and there's no way out, and I feel like I'm alone. That's all it is. We got Craig isn't. I love this. I love this. It's like good times again.
There's a lot of these guys from the MP battalion in Mass in the Guard.
Nice, nice. Hey, it's good that they rolled out and represented tonight. But that's it. Life is pounding you. I mean, just boom, 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 boom. It's like, oh my God, I just want to wake up one day and have things go right, or better one. I don't know about you, Mike, but I just want to wake up and actually like feel good for a change. And hope to me is looking for that positive result or interaction versus, well, things are going to suck. I'm getting beat up anyway. I might as well just lay down and just let life kick me in the ass. So, I mean, that's how I feel about hope. I mean, what does hope mean to you?
I mean, like the biggest thing is knowing that you have something to continue for. To me, is like whether it is your fellow service members and vets, whether it's your friends, your family, whether it's a person you've known for 15 minutes, having a connection with others to me is that hope, and is that the service to the community too. For me, it gives me hope. Like that's something that's always done work for me. Is whether it was my time as the commander of the American Legion down in Foxborough, or working the junior vice at the VFW. Like those things were service, and being able to be in those service organizations and see like how they do it. Whether it's a pancake breakfast, or an afternoon dinner or lunch for the senior citizens in the community. Like to me, service to others gives me a hope for the future, and that kind of rebuilds my, like, I don't want to say hope meter, but like we talked about earlier, filling up that tank of gas, like that's where like it does for me. Like seeing like the good in society, and like seeing that is what really keeps us going. Like helps me like to get Hellfish going, and to keep going with everything that the struggles with it. Like because running a nonprofit is not easy,
It
and
can't.
a lot of people think that you're funded by the VA, and they will not give you any funding. Like
Nope.
you've got to apply for federal grants, you've got to jump through hoops for everything, and it's just you're just scratching out there everything to do what you can. And like that's why that people do fundraisers, and people do these different things online. So whenever you see an organization out there asking for help, they really are asking for help, whether it's somebody to come in and share their time, like you said earlier, whether it be a veteran, a civilian, it doesn't matter. All help is welcome.
Absolutely, all help is welcome. I mean, it's just really powerful to have that help, and uh, I think that's why we're here. So hang on one second. I got some. Okay, cool. Chat's all caught up. All right, great, great, great. You know, um, this is number two, man. And I'm really enjoying this a lot. Not that I wasn't going to enjoy it, but I'm really finding this really cool. Um, Seeing people come into the chat and talk about their stories with us. We got people overseas watching this, people from the South watching this. I think it just gives me hope that this message is gonna ripple out to people who actually need to hear it. What do you think we're gonna talk about next week? We've got like 10 minutes left. Let's talk about next week for a minute.
I feel maybe we can get some input from the crowd throughout the week. We'll leave the topic to be determined. By Monday, we'll see what we've got on social media and see what people have shared, or people put in the chat what they are looking for, or what they could use.
Well, I just put it in the chat here. If you have a topic or idea, drop a suggestion in the chat. drop a line to Hellfish Haven directly or Oscar Mike Rio directly. I mean, and that's right. We met this Monday and kind of talked out what we wanted to do. It worked out real well. It's kind of like a sequential thing we're doing, and it worked. I mean, I think tonight was pretty powerful at certain points. Absolutely. So again, if you have a suggestion or an idea, let us know. We're figuring this out, and again, this is just a space on a Wednesday night, hump day, halfway through the week. You know, maybe things are going great. You want to share that. If you have a victory that you want to share, we're definitely interested in hearing about that. But if you have a problem, hey, you've got a nucleus of people around you too. You're not alone. You're not alone.
And then the one thing too I wanted to share was about the ammo can hope box. Like, so you've got the 988 magnets that's on there, share with folks. And like when you open it up, you've got different things in there. You've got a little photo album, things to remind you of brighter days. Like for me personally, some old birthday cakes.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, little figures, things like that. That just like get you out of your own environment. Small little
Oh,
things with a little saying on it,
yeah, that's cool.
and just different things. Like I said, again the You Matter card,
You matter.
and it's just these different things that are in the hope box that continue to get you going and continue to tell you what to do. And the most important thing is that that safety plan.
Bill says, "Rock on, gents. Stay safe. Godspeed." Hey, Bill, thanks for coming by tonight, and hope to see you again, brother.
And it is, like I said, that safety plan too. You just want to have it in there. You want to have it filled out, and having an ammo can hanging out in your bedroom or in your house isn't a bad thing. No one's gonna look at that and say, "What is that?"
Maybe that's what we'll have to do sometime. Is maybe just when we meet in person to do our show is I'll get an ammo can. I'll stuff it with stuff that it will show people how to make an ammo can. It'd be pretty cool.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, absolutely. So again, my name is Travis. I'm the host of Oscar Mike Radio, a Marine Corps veteran in the greater Boston area, and I'm joined by my good friend, Army National Guard veteran Michael Geary, founder of Hellfish Haven and the executive director. And he's a veteran service organization in the greater Boston area. We are W.A.R. We are resilient. We're here. We're not going anywhere. And this is our second time doing this, starting the new year off right, um, looking to keep this going. And again, if you have a suggestion, if you have an idea, we'd love to hear from you. You can message us, anywhere.
Mass
And
Hire, Central Region Workforce just shared, highly recommend #veterans on Twitter with us.
nice, 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 nice. And Wednesday nights you can check us here on Michael's social media and YouTube and Facebook links and Twitter links. You can check the show out on the Oscar Mike Reader YouTube, Facebook, and links. Like, share, and subscribe to our stuff. We're trying to do our stuff together. And I think it's the thing that I kind of want to end with, Michael, if you don't mind, is
Absolutely.
I think either one of us could have done this, right? I could have done this as a We Are Resilient. You could have done it as We Are Resilient. But I think the we really is the most powerful part of this. Is we're not doing this alone. We came together. We believed in each other. We have hope this is going to change people's lives, and we are living resilience. So I think that we is a very key part of it, and you don't have to do things alone. Is what I'm trying to say.
And we'll definitely work on our technical aspect on the side.
Well, I don't
It's just
understand.
weird 'cause last week it was fine, and this week it's just not working.
I don't know. I mean, you came in just fine. I would have come in on my phone during the stream if I had had my microphone on set, but I don't know. We'll test out a couple times, a couple different things, an idea, and by this time next month, we'll have this all worked out. I'm going to drop the links to Hellfish Haven and Oscar Mike Radio in the chat real quick. So click here for Hellfish Haven. And click here for World Wide Web radio.com.
And on Hellfish Haven, we're always updating our resources. If you have a good resource that's out there, definitely share it with us. We'll be glad to add it to the website. We just want to make sure that, anything that we do add to the website for a resource is something that has been vetted and looked at and is still active. Because there are a lot of organizations that do pop up and disappear within the first couple of years. So we just want to make sure that everything's still active.
Please do, please do. If you like, to your point, if you have an org you want to share about it, we'll make that happen too. We've got like 3.5 minutes left. Anything that you want to close with, Michael?
Just two programs I know I've got that's going on right now. The Specialist Planning Foundation is doing a program where they're collecting funds to be able to share with veterans that are having problems fueling their homes to fuel costs. So the Specialist Planning Foundation's been doing that. And there's also, if anybody needs groceries or anything, let us know at Hellfish Haven. We still have gift cards available to people that if they need groceries, just send us a message and we'll get the gift cards out to you. You don't have to jump through any hoops. Just, let us know your affiliation with the service, that you need some help and, your address, and we'll get it right out to you.
I think that's, there's help there is what he's trying to say is you don't have to be alone. You don't have to be hungry. You can keep your home warm with help. You don't have to, life is hard enough as it is. There's no reason to suffer in silence or suffer alone. Uh, please don't. Please don't. There is a ton of help out there and people that want to see you succeed. Um, Little quirks notwithstanding, I've really enjoyed getting to spend this time with Michael and everything. Um, Doug John checks in saying that he enjoyed it. Thanks, Dougie. Hey, we'll have to have you in as a panelist. Uh, Doug is doing his thing, and can't wait to see him. Let me sure I get the right Doug John here. I don't want to spoil the whole thing. Oh, okay, cool. So we're just going to keep this going. I'm on my cell in bed. Well, I mean, I'm glad you're able to stay in bed and enjoy yourself. Absolutely. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I don't care where you watch this from. You could be, any number of places as long as you're safe and not driving, right, Michael? We don't want them,
No,
driving.
not
Please,
driving and watching video. No, they
please
can listen. They can listen to it through the radio. They want to do that, but just don't watch the.
don't watch us while we're driving, and we'll be fine. So,
And they're always welcome to watch the the rebroadcast of it afterwards, because as soon as this is done, it loads up on the YouTube channel, it loads up on our Facebooks, and is available to watch later on.
yeah, I think it's one of the coolest things, though. Even though we might have a couple of little snafus like this, is a lot. Like I said, told you, a lot of people after we did last week went back and watched the entire hour again and dropped in chat. So we'll see what's going on out here. So again, it's Wednesday night. We are resilient. We're at war. This has been about hope and hanging on to hope. I'm going to close this out. And Michael, thank you again very much. And I really appreciate you asking me to do this with you. I'm having a blast.
Same here. Like 30 seconds left. Anything you got left for admin side?
I've said it all. We'll keep improving. That's all we can do. Thank you for your support. Thanks for checking us out. And hey, sharing is caring. So share early and often.
We'd love to have you next week.
Absolutely. We'll make that happen. Just message us. All right. We're going to sign off and end the stream, and you all have a good rest of your week. Thank you.